Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Wednesday, April 8th. We've got FOMC here this afternoon at 1 o'clock. We've got oil inventory report this morning at 9:30 a.m. We've got markets absolutely ripping back up to the 240. That's about almost a 2,000 point rip to the upside. So the markets are definitely showing some resilience, that's for damn sure. Marked up a few setups already here this morning. You got your leg up here on the 120 range. You could have taken a trade right here. Taking a long entry at your value area low at the 25,198. Targeting your break of structure up here at the 25,245. That would have been a nice trade. We had another one here this morning, right back up to point of control at the 25,236. Targeting the 25,190 for value area low. Nice risk to reward there. That one would have hit pretty early, pretty easy. And then your break of structure would have been your second point of target right there. That would have also hit as well. So we'll see here what the markets want to do. We've got a ways to go to uh-oh. Where did my labels go? I don't know where the hell my labels went. I just had them. They're on every other chart. Oh boy. I might have lost my labels here on the NQ. Let me see. It's there. Let's reload Ninja Script. Let's see if this... Oh. Look at that. Look at this IT Master. IT Master. That was so lucky. All right, so what do we got? Obviously, a pretty long ways to go to get to some buyer unbalanced volume areas for sure. And we've got two of those, and then we've got a big grouping of some key levels at the 24, 514, 451, 398, 347. It's obviously just a lot of liquidity that's going to be sitting right here on the NQ. ES, pretty similar story. I'm not sure why that's not there. Bring this down just a little bit here. You've got your first piece of... Let's see if I can... You got your first piece of buyer unbalanced volume area sitting at the 67.71 to the 67.49. And then we've got a bunch of key levels here on the ES that are all sitting in this big buyer unbalanced volume area. So this is going to be an area for the market, if it wants liquidity. It knows that it's going to definitely be able to find it. We obviously had a big rip last night. Very little volume traded, obviously. We've got one little dip here in the volume profile around the 6,700, 6,710. And it's not until we get into these key levels down here that we start to see price... or I should say volume start to kick right back in. All right, so let's take a look at our first... All right, so we've got a little setup here. if we can continue with this. And we'll keep our stop there, our take profit. Let's see if we can get tagged in here. Again, we're looking at a play going back into value area high, which is sitting all right here. We've got a unbalanced volume area here by sellers, and we'd be targeting, you could target break a structure, you can target your value area low as well. So we'll see if we get tagged in here. Oops. Get rid of that guy now. There we go. And my stop's got to get adjusted here. Hope everybody's having a good morning. All right, so we missed our fill there by probably a good 5 points. So we'll just wait for the next setup here. Morning, Tiger Trades. AP, Paul, good morning. Nordic Joe, Rob, William, Keith, Mo, John, good morning to all. Anna, good morning. See if we can get filled here at the 25,143. This one's a little tricky just because we still have this naked value area high sitting up above, right above our stop. So that could be an area that they might want to come after, but again, kind of missing here entry by probably about 8 points there. We'll see how this candle here closes. If we take this low out here, then I'll cancel this out. We'll look for the next setup. You know, and even on strong downtrend days, you know, this strategy will still catch these moves. I mean, obviously, we were pretty damn close there. I think we were off by maybe 4 points. About 5 points there. And this move, we were off by a couple points as well. About probably 7 or 8 points. But you'll still be able to catch these trend days to the downside if that's what this turns into. Again, if it turns into a range, it's okay as well. It still works. Like I mentioned, the only part of this strategy that gets really hurt are And you'll see these with some higher time frame moves as well. So like these type of days are tough, you know. Oh, I've got this thing. Just trying to see if that would help me out, but doesn't look like it will. Let me take off that feature. Okay, so like these types of days sometimes will hurt you because, you know, you take your value area low trade here, your stop sitting down here, you get swept at the bottom just to see the move go up to where you were targeting. And then on this leg down, you might have value area high sitting right here. You might get tagged in just to get stopped and then taking another loss. So I mean, that is one of the characteristics of, you know, a losing trade here. All right, so we're in this trade here. Let's see. So we got about 37 points of risk. We got 41 points of TP. We are on a much more reduced position size for today. As I mentioned, there is obviously this value area high that's kind of naked here, did never get tapped into, so that might be something that the market wants to go. And there is a seller unbalanced volume area sitting right up here, which would have been from the original first leg down. This is something that the market might want to balance out as well. These are all obviously probabilities, and in trading, that's what you kind of have to go off of. We take a loss, we take a look for the next setup. Oh. Again, this has got every aspect of price action that you kind of want to see in the markets. You're obviously in a downtrend here. Okay, so all we're really looking for is capturing something that is of good value for us, which is sitting right here, and just a continuation of the move to the downside. Now, that might not happen, but on this leg, but that's what you're looking for. So you're incorporating the best aspects of price action with volume. And that's the key right here. We're trying to buy in areas. This is your unbalanced volume area for sellers currently. So we've got some good aspects to the reason for the trades. Nowhere really for me to add another position, because, you know, if this would have been a little different, if point of control would have been up here with the volume area high, those are the setups that are able to get you into maybe one other position. Let's see if we can close this guy out. All right, nice trade. Okay, took about a point loss there. And I'll explain to you guys here in a little bit what I was doing right there. All right, pretty good risk to reward on this trade right here. Not a lot of room, but maybe enough. I took 3 points there. All right, let's see if we can get filled here on our next, kind of our next leg to the downside here. Again, what we're looking for is obviously a nice little break of structure right here. A pullback into value area high. This is your unbalanced volume area from sellers. And we'll invalidate this trade if it goes to the top of this pivot here. So again, risk was 26 points to make 42 points. Yeah, Tiger for sure. VWAP's going to be trailing way down here. I mean, with that move from... I mean, the session VWAP's probably sitting above us, but the daily's got to be way below us. All right, guys, so you guys saw me take a pretty frantic trade there on the 30 range. You know, we all know that I really love the initial balance trade, which is that first hour of the market. I believe that that's absolutely a great place to catch your reversals, to catch some continuations of the downside on the retest of the initial balance. Possibly one of my most successful trades throughout the year. When I look at your back testing, it's pretty insane how well of a win rate that trade is. I've never really been a, I don't want to say believer of the opening range, the 15-minute, which I know is so popular with a lot of traders. You know, you've got the 5, the 15-minute, the 30-minute. It's on every single YouTube video. I've never really had any success with it. I always thought that it was a pretty difficult system. It's an easy system to trade. I just felt like unless you are extremely consistent with it every single day and you've got extremely mechanical entries, again, I think it's a difficult one to kind of stay profitable long term. And it also, the way that it's traditionally traded with a 1 or 5 minute candle is also very not prop friendly for all of the prop traders that are out there. You know, they advertise it as being prop friendly, but it really isn't. Because when you're on a 1 or 5 minute candle, we already know that the 1 minute candle is typically a 17 to 23 point stop loss. A 5 minute candle is going to be 47 point stop loss. So, you know, it could take some drawdown. Obviously, if your position size right, like how I am on these trades, you don't get hurt. But what I have noticed is that there's obviously no denying that the first 15 minutes, first 30 minutes, first hour, any minute range that you come up with is going to be the most liquid part of the markets every single day. And, you know, a reason why I think the initial balance is superior is because you establish pivots, you establish areas of liquidity over a period of an hour where typically you're going to see pretty strong areas. So if you got price action that comes here and then price action that comes here, and then we start trading down, we obviously know that these areas are bigger areas where the market has already said, okay, let's bet on the shorts here, let's bet on the longs here. So you get your stop losses sitting right here, you get your stop losses sitting right here. And that's an hour of price action, okay? So that's why I believe that the initial balance is so strong, and it's why I love trading it. Now, the first 15 minutes is a little bit different, because what you get in the first 15 minutes of your range, you're typically getting a really big spike, okay? And then you're getting some price action like this. We might develop the 15-minute range, and you typically have one area that's a little bit stacked, a little bit loaded more than the other area, okay? So like this would be a more stacked area than this area right here. But the positives of the 15-minute is this is where you see the big institutional players coming into the market. Okay, this is where they have the most liquidity to do a lot of the moves that, a lot of the position sizing that they need to do for throughout the day. So there's that big benefit that you don't see. You see it in the first hour, but you don't see it as much outside of that first 15 minute, because that is the most liquid portion of the market. So you say, Rob, all that's great, I know most of this stuff. Awesome. How can I exploit that 15-minute range in a way where I believe it's a little bit more superior than the 1 or 5 minute strategy? So on the 1 or 5 minute strategy, it's very simple. As you guys know, typically you're going to mark out your first 15 minutes of the day. This is not the first 15 minutes. I'm just giving you an example. And then you've got multiple multiple people have multiple setups. One is the first candle that closes outside of your 15-minute range, which would be right here. You take a short, and your stop loss goes right up here. Great. Only issue that I find with that strategy is that your stop loss now is going to be sitting at about 32 points, okay? On a 1 minute. If you're on a 5 minute, forget about it. It could be 50 to 60 points, okay? You can wait for the retest and then the next candle closure underneath for the move to the downside. Those are the two most basic strategies that are out there. The third, which I believe if you were going to trade any of them would probably be a little bit better, would be taking an area within this context with the volume profile. So wait for your volume profile and see the same thing. See where point of control is at, or see where your value area high is at. Wait for a retracement down to there, and then to see the move. Multiple ways to skin the same cat. Now, what I have come up with that I think is a little bit more superior, you need to be a little bit more nimble. I do have the capability of this with my order entry management system, is very simply waiting on the 30 range, okay? Maybe I was a little late on this trade here. Didn't activate it because I was closing out of this trade and jumping into this trade right here. But it's very simple strategy, and it's waiting for your first tap into or crossover of the 15-minute opening range. When you get your first closed red footprint on the 30 range, we already know that this range is 7.5 points, okay? So depending on your slippage and your entry, your max risk should be 8 to 9 points on this trade, okay? Might be a little bit better, might be a little bit worse, depending on your entry. Again, I've got the capability within my order entry management software, which is from Affordable Indicators, that I can just close on the first down red candle once it crosses or once it's close to an area. This is where the indicator that Tiger Trades shared with me would work extremely well, which I'll implement here shortly, which will show you where the close of this range bar is going to close at. And it gives you an early sign, hey, if this closes red, this is a valid trade. Let me activate my close feature. So you get into the trade, your stop loss goes right up here. So this is purely a breakout strategy. The beautiful thing about this is that the candle's already closed, so we do get some confirmation. We get confirmation much earlier. And your stop loss is going to be, like I said, 8 to 9, and you're always going to be targeting 30 points. So essentially, it's a pretty much a 4-to-1 risk to reward strategy. Might be a little less depending on your entry. It could be 3.75, whatever. Still a positive 4-to-1 risk to reward. And one more thing with the strategy is that I have found that works really well is when you get your first down candle. If you get your first down candle exactly how we did today, or you get another down candle coming into the section right here, the object of this trade is to get to break even as quickly as you can. So you bring your break even down to the bottom of your next red candle that closes. This 8 to 9 points will get reduced down to 1 to about 4 points of stop, which is absolutely nothing on the NQ or even on the micros. Very easy trade, very manageable. And what we're betting on is just a simple breakout. Now, the breakout's going to happen 3 out of 5 times a week. Even if it only happens 2 out of 5 times a week, you've made 60 points, okay, on two days of winning trades. So this is 60 points right here. On your 3 losing trades, let's say that they're 10 points to stop, which they're not, but they're going to be 10 points to stop. 3, that's 30 points that you take a loss on. If you have 3 losing days out of this strategy alone, it's still a profit of 30 points, okay? So it's, over the long run, it's a really nice strategy, very, very easy, and very, very minimal risk, okay? Very minimal risk. Now, are you going to catch some winners that go for a lot more than the 30-point target? Yes. We're not looking for that. We're looking for a straight 4-to-1 risk to reward. You can even adjust your take profit a little bit to account if you are a little bit higher in the stop loss area. So that's my take on the opening range breakout. You'll see me trading them here now that I've explained it. It's a pretty simple strategy. Again, on this trade, this would have been my entry right here. Again, I was switching over from this trade to here, so I really didn't have the best of timing here. But even from here to here, we were probably already halfway there, halfway home. 18 points. We were already halfway home to our take profit, sitting on 2 points of risk or 3 points of risk. All right, so I'm going to close this trade out here, the setup out here. We'll wait for the next leg to form out of this consolidation range right here. No, Nordic, you just gave me a small heart attack. I am not in a trade. Why would you think that? You scared the crap out of me. It was counting at the value area high. No, I'm definitely not in a trade. Whew, man. No, it's gone. I don't think my P&L... changed. I mean, I know I took a 3-point loss, but it was probably only like $50 or $60. I don't know. P&L wasn't moving. Well, either way, I'm out of a trade, but thank you for the heads up. You guys have saved me multiple times because I'm really not looking at wherever you guys see this on your screen. I don't see that. It's funny because my coffee mug is actually covering my P&L box. All right, so we got 21 minutes here for initial balance to be set here from today, which is also going to come in line with the oil inventory report coming out today. So what are your thoughts, guys, on this 2,000 point move on the NQ here? I mean, I don't want to say it, but I know this is a very easy thing to say, but the market to me just seems extremely rigged. You had, I think this might be the low. Yeah, this has got to be the low right here. So our low was, let's just call it for simple math, 23,000. Okay, it's 22,959, but let's just call it 23,000. In a matter of 4 trading days, we have ripped back up 2,000 points, 2,200 points. I mean, that's... I don't know. That's craziness to me. So many people that I know were saying my 401ks are in disarray, my retirement accounts, people's pension funds. People are all nervous, and they probably, some of them that are closer to retirement could have made some hasty decisions there. And could have made some hasty decisions there with their bigger portfolios. I mean, I personally think that that's a pretty foolish move. But again, I know if you're getting closer to retirement age, you're depending on that nest egg that you built up, and you see the market rip down 3,000 points, 4,000 points, 3,000 points. You know, you might get a little bit nervous, but you know, the people that kept buying on the way down, you know, they're looking pretty. Yeah, I've been noticing that too. Asia session has been pretty damn strong. It's just weird, man. I said it to you guys here sometime last week. My confidence dipped so low in the evening sessions. I don't know what it is. I mean, and the funny thing is that the majority of the setups that I map out end up working, and I just don't. I don't know why. I don't feel confident in the evening. I don't know if it's from scars from the past. I mean, I really don't trade the evening session a lot, if almost at all. Maybe a signal, if a signal's gonna come up from my signal service. But outside of that, it's kind of rare. I don't know. Maybe I should just dedicate a group of accounts to evening trades, and not even attach my cash accounts to those, and trade that to see how successful I could be. Again, not much to do here. It's already this morning mapped out 3 setups on this 120 range strategy here, all for winners. And then we had 2 that that we left kind of naked here. So we've got one that's sitting. We got one sitting right here that we had that we never got filled in on. And this one right here at the 25-131 we never got filled on. And we got about 15 minutes for IB to be set. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I'm going to take 2 seconds. I just got to refill my coffee here really quick. And I'll answer some of those questions that we got. All right, I'm back. Thanks for staying patient there. Just needed a... Ran out of coffee kind of early. All right, so let's just take a look. I could tell already. Beauty of this is that you could already tell here. It's not going to give you anything. All right, Morgan. So, Rob, you wait for a 30 range candle closure under the first 15-minute range and go short and trail stop bar. No, not bar by bar. You'll get smoked on the 30 range bar by bar. So let's go back to the opening range here where we first dipped into it. Right here. Okay. So on a scenario like this, you know, you might have not, this is a little bit tricky. I was switching over, obviously. I was in this trade right here for my 120 range trade. And did not, when I switched over, literally this price action came in really quickly. So what I'd like to do is if I can anticipate that a footprint is going to, if it closes red, I can, I have the capability on my order management software to, if I hit close on red bar, it will it'll automatically take a short only if this footprint closes as a red footprint candle, okay? Or a 1 minute candle, 5 minute candle, doesn't matter what it is. Any chart that you have that closes down red, it'll get you into the trade. So the strategy is pretty simple. Your entry at this point, granted this is a very early entry. Your entry would be here. Worst case scenario entry is here. Okay, this is where my entry was right at. Now your stop loss automatically goes. So like if you've got an ATM strategy or a bracket strategy set, your ATM should be like 32 points of stop, 32 ticks of stop, 120 ticks of TP, which means 8-point stop, 30-point take profit. Okay. You could adjust it slightly based on your entry. Like if your entry is a few points off, or if your stop loss is a few points off, you can adjust it so you're always hovering around that 4 to 1. On a 30 range, it's much easier. On, if you're on a 1 minute candle with 25 points of risk, 1 to 4 is you're asking for a 100-point move. We've seen we could do it, but a lot less likely, in my opinion. Your win rate's going to suffer. So the strategy, to make things easier, let's just say that this was your entry right here. So we already know that your entry is going to be right here. Your stop loss is going to sit right here, so should be in that 8 to 9 point range. Okay, and on your first down red bar, you automatically move your stop down to the top of that bar. So now you've cut your risk depending on what this candle closes down in. In this scenario, this risk here is probably 3 points, maybe 2 points of risk, and you're just waiting for your 30 points to get hit. Comes right back in, break even, down 3 points. Let's just almost call that break even. Okay, on the NQ. Any trade that you can take that you're only risking 8 to 3 points is pretty damn good. And again, the way that the strategy works out really well number wise is that 2 out of the 5 days of the week you'll get the move that you might get a retracement, but you might get a retracement 20 points in profit just for a little leg up and then straight right back down. And so even if you average, let's just say 2 winning days per week, that's going to give you your 60 points per week. On your 3 losing days, let's just take it at 8 points of loss. That's 24 points of loss. Let's say that you fumble the trades completely and you've got 10-point stop losses every day. Your max loss is 30 points. And it's always going to be less than that because you're always going to get, not always, but let's just say 50% of the time, you're going to get that first down bar after your entry. And so that means you're already 7 points in profit. That's when you move your stop loss down to your entry. So again, it's just a breakout strategy. This is not a retest strategy. This is not a coming back into volume strategy. There's a lot of good ones there that I could share with you, but this is very, very simple and very prop friendly. Again, if you're on NinjaTrader, it works really well. I can't trade this strategy like on my Top Step X account or, even Trade of 8, their web platform for me would be very difficult because I don't have the tools that I have here with NinjaTrader that gets me in and out of these trades really well. In fact, I could even put with this order entry management software, I can put in a trailing stop if I wanted to, but the second you start trailing your stop on a 30 range, you're going to get smoked. That won't work. You'll take some profit. Don't get me wrong. You might take 6, 7, 5 points of profit, but over the long run, that strategy will not work with this particular strategy. It will not fare out very well for you. All right, so the IB to me doesn't look so great here today. Honestly, it does not look super inviting to me. I don't really like all of this range that we've had sitting right here. So a little bit less probability. We'll see on the footprint here how this kind of develops. So again, same as always, I've got my 30 range right here, and I've got my 60 range off right over here. All right, so we did get a good footprint there. I'm going to reduce risk here to about 10 points, targeting 20 here. We got a great flip there on the 30. I don't know if the 60 gave us anything yet. Looks like the 30, it gave us a nice flip as well, so we'll see here if we can get these 20 points or just go right back into the range. Oh, that was pretty close there. And it seems like it's always like a point or two off. All right, I'm going to go to break even right here. All right, out at break even. Again, missed that by about 2 points there. So I think we're probably 18 points in profit right there. But break even trade. I didn't really have the greatest. I didn't like this range that we had right here. I don't know where I don't know what's been going on with my labels recently. Second time this happens here. But we did get a nice flip on both the we got a nice flip on the 30 and the 60. So let's see if I gotta reload my ninja script here and see if this works. All right, I don't know what happened to my range, to my yeah, the labels are missing here. I don't know. Didn't like something. The trader's not liking something here. So it would have been real nice, obviously, if we could have got just a few more points there. That would have been a nice little 20-point winner. I think that was probably 17 to 18 points in profit, so we were really close to that 20-point TP. 18 a quarter, so just, man, a point and a half more. We got TP right there, so a little unfortunate, but went to break even. Initial stop on that was really tight anyways. I mean, I was probably carrying 8 or 9 points of stop. Brought it to break even, actually plus 1, so took a half a point of profit on that, which is nothing, but. And then if you guys noticed on the 60 range, the 60 range had a really nice footprint flip right there as well. So, and I actually wasn't looking at it, but this would have been a nice little retest there. This probably would have gotten me my 20 points. So instead of talking, I probably should have been looking at it. But again, just looking at the IB here today, Yeah, this is definitely, that's 24 points. So yeah, it was kind of a wasted opportunity there, but that's okay. And in the same span of time, this is kind of really tight consolidation here. But let's just see how this set up here. I was obviously, I was a little focused in on the, all right, so this was no setup there yet. And this is really tight consolidation on these 3 legs down here. This is not the greatest. I'm going to leave it up here just so we can keep tracking it. So again, just a little unlucky there on the IB trade. It would have been nice to take another 20 points. That would have probably brought me up to like, I don't know, 70 points for the day on the NQ, which would have been a good day. Still is a good day. Morgan, it is, yeah. It's 15. I probably should have been on 15. I obviously would have gotten my TP on there. Lately on the IBs for the last, I would say last couple weeks, I've been at like 20 points or 30 points of profit, which have hit pretty frequently. Probably today with this range that we had prior to that opening range, probably should have been at the 15 pointer, but it's all in hindsight, man. So it's. One win today, 2 break evens. Again, just a kind of a recap. Took a nice short here for 41 points. Tried the breakout there of the 15-minute range there. Took out 3 points. I just consider that break even. Just the cost of doing business. And then pretty much break even on that IB trade as well. And most likely I'll be cutting the stream off much earlier today. I'm not a big fan of trading FOMC closer to really much past 10 o'clock. I think price action gets kind of sloppy. So no reason to take unnecessary trades for no reason. I'm up pretty nicely for the day already. Felt like my trading was good. Two very solid days of trading, which I needed after that Monday. That Monday hurt me, and it really hurt only one account. One other account was up pretty nicely actually for the day, but the one account did take a. You got it, Tiger Trades. Thanks for everything you do, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I know it's the meeting minutes, but it's still extremely volatile. I mean, if he says anything in those, if anything is said in those minutes that is not anything remotely different than what's scripted, it's a shit show in the markets. Now, granted, it doesn't have the same weight that it used to have when all we were talking about was inflation. But you could make a pretty big case for inflation being a pretty strong topic right now, obviously, with the price of gas and oil situation, job market situation. And I mean, this has been you know, we luckily caught this nice move to the downside here. We missed this move to the downside here by about 5 points. And then there was obviously a few trades here pre-session that, you know, would have been nice. But I think we caught the nicest move that we could have caught here already here this morning. Nordic, can you send me a screenshot of that 17-pointer on the IBL on the initial balance? Did you get it on this one? This one right here? No. This was the first. This was a nice one right here. This was at 931. Gave you an opportunity. Did not. This one gave you another opportunity right here. This is probably what you took. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. The IB gave you a few trades, but again, I'm not a huge in this. At least not in the same direction. Maybe one retest up. I'm usually good for. This would be like your third or fourth one right here. Same thing. This again would have paid you out your 15 points. Maybe not. About 13 points there. This one right here, Nordic? No, this is Ninja Traders. I just got some settings in there that I've changed. It's pretty, let's see if I can take a screenshot here. See what he's got here. Targets 15 long. Definitely, and I don't say this to critique a trade or anything like that. It's probably in an area where I probably would not have. Oh no, I take this back. I'm sorry. Now I see where the execution came from. I was looking at your risk to reward image. But now I see where your actual execution. Yeah, I'm good with that. That's a nice trade. I thought you took the trade somewhere around this area right here, which is already pretty rangy. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day for the stream. 3 trades, pretty happy with all 3 trades. Came in with a nice game plan, stuck to it, and pretty happy with the P&L for the day. And I think just based on what we got coming up and this this pretty ugly price action that we've been seeing already on the NQ, I think for the most part I capitalized on what I consider to be the best setup that I could find here on the NQ here this morning. And now, of course, the market takes a ripper to the downside. But I'm going to call it a day. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Cash Profit Fridays coming up here as well, so we'll be running that on Friday. Look forward to seeing everybody here tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.